Hi, and welcome to Spiritual and Personal Growth, a Discover Your Greatest Self lifestyle recovery program. I'm your host, Dr. Jasmine Blake Hollywood, a passionate advocate for health and well being. With a background in clinical nutrition and personal experience with lifestyle recovery, I bring a wealth of knowledge to our conversations. For more on my credentials, please visit www.truepaleoinc.org/our founder. Defining personal development. Personal development is a structured framework where you can use to improve yourself, but also enhance your relationships with others. It helps you to identify your needs and values, become aware of strengths you have, build your professional skills and communication styles, and help social connections. By applying some personal development models, you can gain more insight into your own and others' needs. In this module, we are going to focus on personal development plans for building interpersonal skills, new relationships, and spiritual connections. The personal development cycle. What is currently stopping you from being successful as you feel you can be in your life? Perhaps it's your interpersonal skills. Undergoing continuous development in relation to your current lifestyle recovery role is important, and you should see this as an ongoing development planning cycle that needs to be tweaked time and time again. So, the personal development cycle starts with purpose and it cycles all the way around to evaluate. It talks about needs, opportunities, and action plans. And this is all needed for personal development. You want to establish your purpose or sense of direction. Identify your needs for your development. Look at development opportunities, formulate an action plan, and record outcomes to review and evaluate that plan. Identifying your purpose. It's not always easy to do this. Some people go through their entire life never knowing why they are here. This section is intended to narrow down your focus to what you are here to do or feel called to do, with the intent to doing what you love, what you're good at, knowing what you're doing can be used for the good of the world, and getting paid for it all the while. Ask yourself, what do you love to do? What are you good at? Can these things be done for good in the world? And can you get paid for it? So, we want to begin with the purpose Venn diagram. This diagram is made out of 4 circles, and what it does is encompasses your life purpose. At the very top, you are going to list what you do love doing, okay? And then you want to list the world. Does it need it, right? And then, or how can it need it? And then you want to know, can you get paid for it? And if so, you want to list how. And then you want to list what you're good at. And so in the Venn diagram, um, you'll get out of doing these 4 things your passion, your mission, your vocation, and your profession. All right. And so I've given you an example here of how this sheet can be used. So, for example, I like conversing with people, I like nutrition, and I love telling my life story. And the world needs nutritional and body, mind, spirit programs, right? And right now, I could do this if I worked for a nonprofit. And I, I'm really good at managing and training. And so here, what we do is we say managing and training plus working for a nonprofit, that's going to equal the profession that I go into, right? So that means if I want to get paid for doing something I love, and something I'm good at, then the profession I'm seeking is to work for a nonprofit with a managing and training position. And then, of course, at the top where it says I love conversing with people and telling my story, that's going to be mixed with managing and training. So, how can I manage and train someone, because that's what I'm good at, and still do what I love, converse with people, do nutrition and tell my story? That's going to be my passion, is finding a place, a professional place that I can do those two things at the same time, and I will be passionate about that. And then over here we have the world needs this. So my mission, of course, is a mix between these two things, and the vocation is finding a nonprofit that actually facilitates nutrition and body, mind, spirit programs. So here what I have done is I've just given you a blank Venn diagram worksheet for your purpose. And these are printable and downloadable at the website on the resources tab. Identifying needs. It's all about you, right? Or is it? If you fail to plan, then you're planning to fail. Benjamin Franklin's quote applies to many choices that we make, including identifying our needs for personal development to promote successful lifestyle recovery. Without a plan that can identify personal needs, it's difficult to stay focused and reach your lifestyle recovery goals. Studies show that only 8% of people who set goals actually achieve them. Yeah, that's a really small number, guys. And one primary difference between these individuals and the other 92% is they have plans in place to meet these specific needs. So, most personal development plans start by compiling a list of personal strengths and weaknesses, areas of development, and goals. And one effective way of organizing this self assessment is by using a SWOT analysis. SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So let's review the SWOT analysis worksheet. You're going to have 4 blocks here, all divided up, and they're going to be your strengths and your weaknesses, the threats, and the opportunities. And your strengths will affect your weaknesses, and your weaknesses will affect the threats, and the threats will affect the opportunities you have to become strong. So by answering these questions in each of these blocks, you'll be able to do your own SWOT analysis. What are you good at? What will help you move forward? What are your qualifications? What resources can you draw on? Those are going to be your strengths. What do you still need to learn? What do you have to get better at? What do you least enjoy? And what could you improve? These are going to be your weaknesses. What trends can harm you? What is your competition doing? What threats do your weaknesses expose you to? These are going to be the threats. And what opportunities are open to you? What strengths can be turned into opportunities? What trends can you take advantage of? These are going to be your opportunities. So here I have given you examples once again of how I filled out the SWOT analysis. My strengths are conversing with people, nutrition, and telling my life story. And my strengths are doing something that I'm good at. And another strength is that I'm a doctor of clinical nutrition and mental health certified individual, right? And also a strange strength is I'm really good at graphic design. So when I come over here and compare these to my weaknesses is I really don't know how to evidence my opinions, right? And I'm not really emotionally involved all the time. And sometimes I'm not good at being in the lead. And I could probably improve my lifestyle a little bit. And so when I come down here and I do my threats, I say, okay, well, a threat, it could be my criminal background. It could be that maybe I don't have any competition. So sometimes having competition is just as bad as not having any. Also, one weakness is exposing my criminal background. Like, what if, someone finds out and then they don't want to hire me, right? So these are some common things that people go through. And then opportunities is, okay, well, I have the opportunity to be a business owner, and using what I love as a money making opportunity is great. And my personal experience in lifestyle recovery is an opportunity. So, this is an example here of how you can fill out the SWOT analysis. And of course, I've provided you with a blank sheet, which is downloadable and printable on the website from the resources tab. So here's a completed SWOT Venn diagram. So now I've taken the SWOT analysis worksheet, put it in the Venn diagram, and have created a SWOT analysis. Now I've put in my strengths about my strong managerial skills and doctor of nutrition, and my threats, the criminal background, and my weaknesses, the overly opinionated, emotionally attached person, and the opportunities. I have a mental health certification and I'm great at graphic design. And what I got here was my SWOT. I can manage and train people on nutrition for mental health, right? So I mix these together. And I can show how community advocacy and management of lifestyle lead to a doctoral degree. And being open and honest about my past events can help me develop a mentorship decision making program. And creating and appealing materials and grounding my opinions in evidence can help me out. And so here's just a blank SWOT Venn diagram worksheet, also downloadable on the website. Development opportunities. So, when considering professional development opportunities, any experience that leads to the acquisition of skills, enhancement of your capabilities, expansion of your network, and deeper insights into your interpersonal skills is where you need to be focused. I must emphasize the word experience. You grow through experiences. So, to experience something, you must take action. Therefore, experiential learning is the highest form of learning. If life was a video game, professional development is what your character has to go through to level up, per se. So you can design your own professional development experiences based on your purpose and SWOT analyses, thereby perfecting the pace at which you grow. So here's a really good development opportunities handout that you can download and print out and place in the work environment. Find a mentor, learn a skill, start a project, join a group. And when you do these things, you can take them and use the development opportunities worksheet. Did you find that mentor? What are the skills you're willing to learn? What are the projects that you want to start? And what are the groups you want to join? This is also downloadable and printable on the website under the resources tab. So let's talk about the action plan. Before you can formulate an action plan, you must establish support networks. This is essential for personal development plans for lifestyle recovery to work and building social connections. Okay, so the benefits of building a support network include accountability, motivation, and sense of community. However, establishing support networks can be challenging, especially if we come from a lifestyle of trauma and extreme stress, or even if our lives are just simply disorganized and chaotic. Okay, we got to establish these support networks. And when we do this, we want to find a friend with similar experiences that can help you stay motivated, supported, and accountable, right? Someone who can push you to work harder. You want to find family members that are going to be great sources of support and encouragement, not discouragement, and let them know that your personal goals, what they are, and ask them for their support. And you want to join groups that can be a great way to meet like minded individuals who are on similar journeys, okay? Not groups that are not on similar journeys. They also offer safe and judgmental places where members can share their experiences. So, when we discuss building support networks, we have to know that there are limited support networks and they can make us feel uncertain at times. And it can be easy to feel isolated and alone. So, we want to understand that cultivating a strong support network can help us feel more connected and supported. Building a community of people who share similar values, okay, and similar experiences can provide a sense of belonging, encouragement, and accountability. So you want to identify your values and interests, attend events and engage in activities, be vulnerable, it's okay. Offer support to others and consider even professional support. This is how you unlock success and growth. So here's a really quick building support networks diagram. First you just want to identify your values and interests and attend events and engage in activities. Be vulnerable. That is the centerpiece here. Offer support to others and consider professional support. This is a great handout that you can print out and put in the work environment. Also, another handout you can use is the support networks worksheet. This can be printed out and used. You can list your friends and family members that are supportive and groups that maybe you're wanting to join. Both of these worksheets are available and downloadable on the resource tab. So finally, we want to go into formulating the action plan. And we want to understand that we want to plan with others. Okay, so first, when we're formulating the action plan for personal development, we want to establish support networks as accountability partners. So, in other words, we want to identify individuals within our support networks who can provide us with guidance. Okay, we want them to encourage us and we want them to hold us accountable as we work towards our personal goals. So when we create actionable steps, we're going to set realistic and achievable objectives for our goals while reconnecting with existing relationships and establishing new connections, new relationships. And we want to tell these individuals what we plan to do. Okay, so we want to create a schedule for reaching out to individuals. We want to create a schedule for attending new social events and participating in those activities that promote relationship growth and development. And so before we begin to execute our plan, we want our supporters to be understanding of what we're doing, right? So we're not just jumping into goal setting and planning and then asking for feedback and then not getting the feedback we're expecting, right? So we want to share our objectives with people. We want to say, hey, I'm starting this new thing and these are my goals, and I'm just wondering if you'd be my support person. Just I need feedback every once in a while to see how I'm doing, and what you may think that I could do to maybe achieve these goals. Those are ways to talk to people and build relationships with them to establish the support that we need. And so we're asking them to hold us accountable. So maybe it's quitting smoking. And, you say, well, I just need you to make sure that if I start stressing out and I want a cigarette, that you hold me at 100% accountable and say, no, you told me not to drive you to the store, and you keep your word and stand your ground. Like, these are things that we're asking our supporters to do. And of course, you want your mentor to help you with your personal development goals. So if there's someone out there who's doing something that you see that you're really like, yes, I would like to do that as well, and that they've achieved it, you want to go to them for their advice because they've already gotten to that point. And so they're going to know the pitfalls, and the open doors to take. So you definitely want them to be helping you with these goals. So here is the action plan, okay? You're going to find a mentor, a supporter, and you're going to execute the action plan, which are the tasks. And you're going to be scheduling and you're going to be having objectives, okay? And so on the blank sheet, that's exactly how you're going to write it in. Who's your mentor? Who's your supporter? Okay. How are you going to execute it? What are the tasks? What's the schedule? And what are the objectives? And here is a blank sheet. And I just gave you an extra square here if you have more objectives or more tasks, of course. So again, this is what it looks like. And then this is the blank one. And these are downloadable and printable on the website under the resources tab. But it's not over once you make the plan. You need to evaluate the plan. Like, what do you think, right? And so recording your outcomes to review and evaluating the plan may seem like a simple process, but without this spiritual strength that you need to build, it's going to be difficult. And so using spiritualism will make your personal development plan more dynamic, distinct, and personally tailored. And so now we want to talk about what is spirituality in the sense that it's the quality of being concerned with the human spirit or soul as opposed to material or physical things, right? And so being spiritual, what it does is it shifts our priorities and allows us to embrace our spiritual nature in a more profound way, thus enabling us to grow interpersonally, right? Inside. And so when we implement personal development plans, we want to source the spiritual truth, which can help us, right? And so searching for the source of everything from within you, right? Not from what you're seeing outside of you. You want to find your unique essence. You want to locate your path to perfection within yourself, right? Not using other people's paths. And you want to bring your personal development plan together in one thought. So, spirituality, one thought, source for everything, use your unique essence, and you will get into perfection. So there are 9 interpersonal steps to spiritual truth of personal development plan evaluation. And the spiritual truth is what belongs to us is ours. Okay? No two people will ever have the same outlook on life or same life's purpose. We all have our own individual fingerprint. When reviewing and evaluating our action plan, we need to follow these 9 steps. We need to reflect on our spiritual strength for purpose. We need to review our recorded outcomes. We need to connect our spiritual truth Two are SWOT analysis. We don't want to be writing down lies and fantasies and things like that. Okay, we want to tell the truth. What is standing in our way? What is it that we propose that we want to achieve? Also, number four, we want to embrace spiritual nature of professional development opportunities. We want to seek the source of everything in every relationship, okay? We want to make sure that that source is spiritual truth, okay? And we want to find our unique essence. What makes us different? What makes us stand out? Locate the path to our perfection, consider our spiritual wisdom, and integrate our spiritual insights and bring the plan together. And this just really goes over the 9 interpersonal steps to the personal development evaluation, plan evaluation. So, one, take a moment to reflect on your spiritual strength and connection to your inner self and consider how spirituality influences your values, beliefs, or your purpose. Okay? And so this can be downloadable on the website, and you can review this on your own time here, more in depth. So reformulating the plan. So once you have created the action plan, evaluated the action plan from a spiritual viewpoint, it's time to really reformulate the plan and make sure the plan is working for your growth in spirituality. So after the spiritual reflection, you should be able to really recognize that being spiritual adds depth. It clarifies your purpose. It's much more clear, and it authenticates your personal growth process. So you ask yourself these questions when reformulating the plan. Are your objectives in line with what you really want to accomplish? Is your schedule in agreement with your life's goals, or is it compromising? Have you given yourself the right tasks? Is your mentor coaching you in the right direction? Are your support networks actually supporting you in your efforts? Is your personal development plan realistically executable? And your reformulation worksheet is just another action plan worksheet. This is also downloadable and printable on the resources tab on the website. Thank you so much for watching. We just want to thank you for your interest in using our self-directed Discover Your Greatest Self programs for your lifestyle and nutritional needs. I am Dr. Hollywood, the expert you can trust.